As always, when we have long, complicated questions, just break it apart, do it one piece at a time, and don't try to do two steps at once. I think that's the biggest thing, is we kind of want to rush and we want to do two things at the same time. Oh, it's easy arithmetic. It's easy to do the substitution. You're not saving any time. You're saving a second. It's not going to add up. It's much more about being able to just kind of dive into this thing. So a shipping service restricts the dimensions of the boxes it will ship for a certain type of service. The restriction states that for boxes shaped like rectangular prisms, the sum of the perimeter of the base of the box and the height of the box cannot exceed 130 inches. That's an instruction. The sum of the perimeter and the height cannot exceed 130. So the perimeter plus the height is less than or equal to 130. Notice there's no other thing going on here. Some of you are going to start to be like, oh, and the perimeter of the base is going to be the length and the width. No. One thing at a time. Just do this. Now, what does it say? The perimeter of the base is determined using the width and length of the box. Okay, that kind of is obvious. If a box is a height of 60 inches, so plus 60 is less than 130, and its length is 2.5 times the width. So here's a new kind of instruction. Length is 2.5 times the width, which inequality shows the allowable width x in inches. So let's make our little box right now. We're looking at the bottom, and we have the width, which is x, so that's here, and the length is 2.5 times the width. So that's going to be 2.5x. Now we wanted the perimeter, so we got to fill everything else in. This is 2.5x, and this is x. And remember, perimeter is just adding up all the sides. There's no formula that you need to memorize. It's just always the same thing, no matter whether it's a rectangle, a triangle, a pentagon, whatever. Add up all the outside things, that's your perimeter. So we're adding up x plus 2.5x plus 2.5x. So you don't really need a calculator here, but I'm going to do it. I'm just a little nervous. So 1 plus 1 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 is 7. So my perimeter is 7x. Now let's pop that in for p. And look, we can solve this thing, right? So what would we do? Let's subtract 60 from both sides. 7x is less than or equal to 70. And then divide by 7, and x is less than or equal to 10. Done. Now, why is the 0 part there? Well, basically it's a dimension, right? So you can't have less than 0, or even you can't have 0 as a dimension, otherwise the thing doesn't exist. So that's part of it, but that doesn't really affect how we think about it. But yeah, this is another question where it's a little tedious, but it's about following instructions, just doing what you're told. You can't panic. You can't try to do too much at once. Just go through it methodically and get this right. You cannot get a 700 or better if you're getting stuff like this wrong. This is a must-answer question. It's kind of that perfect 600 level. A little weird, a little twisted, but just do what you're told and it should be fine.